guess I'll start with this one to get me warmed up. So my name is Celinda Walker. I am a 27, yeah, I'm still 27-year-old artist from Tennessee. I am newer to art. Well, okay, rather than an introduction video, this is kind of pretty much going to be my introduction video. Oh, I swear one day I'm going to write a book called Talking to Myself, and it's going to be about the year I spent in my basement trying to record these YouTube videos. Okay. Hi. My name is Celinda Walker, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi, my name is Celinda Walker. I am 27 years old, and I am a... Hi, my name is Celinda Walker. I can't even pronounce my own name. Okay, let's try this again. Hi, my name is Celinda Walker. I just realized I have heaters on and that's going to be making a lot of noise, so let me fix that. Let's try that again. I want to watch these back and be like, what the fuck? Hopefully the battery won't die in the middle of this, but I guess we'll see. You know, they say long hair is really attractive, but I don't know why people think that, because it just, my god, that looks really bad really fast. All right. I am wearing the same exact outfit that I wore in my last video because, well, I don't get dressed up and put makeup on and go out in public this often, so thought I'd get as much out of it as I could. You know, a lot of things have been happening in my life recently, and I want to do something that makes me feel like I'm in control of my life, and I want to do something that makes me feel like I'm working towards something, because that has been sorely lacking from my life, and it is driving me crazy and making me feel awful. So this is my attempt to get out of that, and we'll see how it goes. I might end up making things worse and making people hate me, but I have experienced far worse, so at this point, please don't hate me, but if you do, sorry. It took me a long time to make this video because, well, I'm not confident by any means. I'm not enthusiastic, I'm not cheerful, I'm not a YouTube personality. I spent the bulk of my career behind a camera because that's where I felt the most comfortable. And I find it hard to get into that mentality where I'm comfortable around people and I'm fun and I'm energetic and I'm I'm not the kind of person that likes a lot of attention, but I also have this insane fear of being mediocre and unremarkable, and so that's kind of conflicting because it's like I don't want to be average, but I also don't want to be the center of attention either. So it's like this weird and that's the thing, is like people always try to like one-dimensionalize each other. Oh, well, you know, you like this or you feel this way, so you have to like and feel that way all the time. That has to be who you are. You were like this way in high school, so, you know, you can't possibly change or be different now. And like, you said these things before, so that's you, and that's gonna follow you for the rest of your life. You're not capable of change or growth or adapting or anything, really. You're stuck in that. This is a very important topic to me specifically. Anyways, I do art. I don't know if you could tell from the thumbnail or the topic or anything like that, but for the longest time, like 90% of my life, I was too scared and embarrassed to pursue art out of the fear that, like, fear of being judged for wanting to be an artist, you know, fear of potentially embarrassing myself in front of a bunch of people, like I am right now. Anyways, there was this class that I took in high school where I don't even remember what class it was. I couldn't tell you what subject it was. But anyways, in this class specifically, I remember we did that thing that it's like, you know, you go around the room and they make you write down one, you know, like complimentary thing about everyone in the class, so that, you know, you can read a bunch of good things about yourself and, you know, feel good about yourself. You know what mine were? Like about 6 or 7 of them were shy. Like, it was insane. I wonder if I still have that paper. Actually, hold on 1 second. So anyways, I found the, I just realized this makes me look like a guidance counselor, but oh well. You can't help what's going on in your life. But getting back to what I was talking about before, so this mess of a thing that I can't even close because it's like, you know, I've got like frogs and like, you know, origami things that people have anyways, it's in here somewhere. Oh, look, it's my driver's license and the 8th grade dance, and like, oh god, like pictures of me when I was like little and whatnot. This first page, why didn't I start there? So Linda Walker, and if you wanna look at the list, right is the, I'll have to put a photo up or something, but you can see it's like me and then like a list of things. So I read this list, and this like looking back, it makes me wonder, like, was it clear that this was supposed to be a compliment? And was it clear, like, people either, I don't know if they knew that what a compliment is, because it's like, Linda Walker likes animals. Again, yes, but is it's a good thing, I guess, but it's not really. Anyways, shy, 1. Not loud, 2. Reads all the time, yes, but again, that's a statement about me and it's true, but is it a compliment? And I think that kind of goes with shy, but I did read a lot because I dissociated from everything. Shy again, so that's 2 shies, 1 not loud. I'm counting that as 3. Reads all the time, kind of. I kind of want to count that, so 3.5. Beautiful earrings. Peaceful. I mean, that's more complimentary, but that I'm also gonna lump that in with shy and not loud. Golden hair. My hair was more golden. I've never dyed my hair and I'm considering it because it's not as blonde as it used to be. Draws great. Now that's a compliment, I think. I like it. I mean, I was surprised actually at this by how many people knew that I drew, but I guess I did draw in class when I was bored and I guess not reading. Intelligent. I like that one. That one's a really nice compliment. I appreciate it. Artistic. Again, that's another really good one. I like that. Quiet. So let's see here. Shy, not loud, reads all the time, shy, peaceful, quiet. That's 6. I'm counting. Amiable. That's a tough one because that's like friendly, but I also see it as more like agreeable, which is more like, you know, she just kind of sits back. She doesn't really cause any problems. She doesn't really start any fights. She doesn't really start any fights. She's just, you know, she's just agreeable. They might see that as a compliment. I don't know that I do, But I mean, I guess it's better than some other things. I got one funny, which I think was from my like one friend in that class, probably, because, you know, to everyone else, I didn't really have much of a sense of humor because I was not loud. I was quiet, I was shy, I was whatever. Good shoes. I think I was just wearing tennis shoes, honestly. Gnarly earrings. So I guess I got 2 compliments on my earrings, which, I mean, obviously they weren't these. I wasn't wearing pearls in high school. I was wearing like these like silver double hoops that, you know, the kind you get from like Claire's or Icing for like $6 or $7 that last for like about a year or 2 before they start like to chip. Like the silver paint or whatever starts to chip off of them because they're really cheaply made. Those are the kind of earrings I was wearing. Reads books. Reads books. Now that's again, it's like it's a yes, it's a verb, it's a thing that I do. I read books. Is that a compliment? I don't know. Doesn't sound like a compliment. Best drawer. And I like I'm not making that up. Like best drawer, like reads books. Great reader, strong skills is the last one. And I'm wondering if the teacher wrote that because I don't know who just goes, yeah. I mean, I like strong skills. That sounds like one of the better ones because it's like saying I'm strong. But just makes me wonder what these people's ideas of compliments are. If that was literally the best that they could come up with because no one really knew me. Probably the latter. As you can tell, I made a very, very strong impression on my entire class. They all thought very highly of me. Considering like about, you know, 4 of them were on my appearance or things that I possessed, and most of them were about how quiet I was and that I read books. You can get kind of the sense that what I'm doing right now is like the very antithesis of who I was and what I did back then. And it makes me wonder if anyone that I went to high school with that's watching this video now is just like, what happened to her? I can hope. I can dream. Because like, yeah, I was very different back then. But that brings me to the point of this video, which is like, at the end of that class, I remember they gave a certificate to everybody, you know, like as a class superlative. Everybody got a class superlative. You know, those things like most likely to succeed, friendliest, you know, most popular, all of that. And to this day, I will never forget mine because I just remember being so disappointed. I got most humble, which, you know, obviously ties into this theme of this video, because if you look up humble and modesty, like being humble and being modest, it's just basically a different word to say the same thing. And again, I don't also consider it to be a compliment. Maybe I'm just too picky when it comes to compliments, but it's also like, out of all of the superlatives that you could be, I don't think anyone would pick that one. I mean, some will, obviously. When I showed my mother, she was just like, yeah, honey, no, like, honestly, why would you want to be, you know, most successful or most liked when you could be the most humble? The funny thing is, it's like she was saying that unironically. My mom was just like, no, that's great. That's really great. You know, that's one of the best things you can get, in my opinion, I think, honestly, because it means that, like, you have a lot more going for you than you think you do. And you're worth a lot more than you think, basically. I was just like, okay. Let me just Google this. I'm gonna pull up the term for you on Webster Dictionary. Let's just Google this here. Humble. having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. That is the textbook, well, in this case, web definition of humble. And then if you look at the second one, the number 2, it says of low social, administrative, or political rank. But I digress. Basically, it's someone lower in dignity or importance. That's something that they don't tell you, because everyone's just like, oh, that just means, you know, you're humble, you're better than you think you are. It means you have a lower opinion of yourself. Like, and that's like, if you look up modest too, like, I'm gonna put the definition of modest up here just to show you how similar they are. Modest, unassuming or moderate, unassuming or moderate in the estimation of one's own abilities or achievements. Again, slightly better, but it's like, you know, it's basically the same thing. And I remember thinking just like, great. So you're telling me the thing that I do better than anyone else in this room is that I have the lowest self-esteem. That's my superlative. The thing that I do better than anyone else here is I have the lowest self-esteem. It's not a compliment. It really isn't. In any way, shape, or form, it is not. It is not. We've been trained to think that it is because, again, did you know that was the definition of humble? I didn't before I Googled it. But it's not a good thing. It's really not. It's like it's just like, yeah. So my superlative, my defining trait, the thing that I do better than anyone else in this room is that I have the lowest self-esteem. Great. My self-esteem doesn't match my abilities, is basically what that means. And I was just like, no, I'm not humble. I just have the self-esteem of a turnip because I never got any positive affirmation from anyone who wasn't my parents, like the entirety of my childhood. Means that I don't know my own worth, I don't know my own value, and so I undercut myself. I underestimate myself, I undervalue myself, I undersell myself because I doubt myself. And I'm not self-aware. That's what that means. I am not self-aware because I have a lower opinion of myself than where it should be. I diminish myself. I am modest and I am humble in my opinion of myself because I am worth so much more than what I accept. It's like, oh yeah, well, you know, at least you're not a dick. Again, really high standards. Really high standards. Part of the reason why people want you to be modest and humble, like, there's 2 reasons. Either it's for the sake of their own ego, because they doubt themselves and they feel inferior, so they want you to see yourself as lower so that, you know, they don't feel bad about themselves. People, they want the best they can get for the least. They want the most that they can get for the least amount of time, effort, money, whatever. You know, if they can get a discount, they're going to want a discount. If they can get you to devalue yourself and not think that you're worth as much as you are, then hey, better for them. And it might be that they have a lower opinion of you than you really think. And it's scary. It's scary enough when we have a low opinion of ourselves, but it's even scarier when we find out that other people do. And so it's like sometimes we are embarrassed or we're afraid to expect more and to ask for more and to put ourselves up higher because we're afraid that other people will see that and not like it and try to knock and tear us down. You know, oh, why are you charging so much? You really think you're worth that? Well, if I don't, who else is going to? Like, people very rarely will pay more than you ask for something. You know, sometimes, occasionally, people will feel generous and they'll give you like a tip or whatnot, but more often than not, people will be like, you don't have any credentials. You didn't go to an art school. You don't have any like paperwork documenting how good you are. Why are you charging so much? You don't have nearly as many followers as other artists. So like, you know, and they end up talking you out of basically selling your art for minimum wage. Like most artists I know with the commissions they take, they don't make minimum wage because they don't factor in how many hours they spent working on it with how much they're getting paid. Anyways, I'm not getting into pricing of commissions, but modest people attract manipulation. That's my biggest point here. When you don't see and understand the true value of your work, you're more likely to give other people discounts. You're more likely to sell yourself short. You're more likely to not pursue things or invest in things or do things that would be better for you because you're worried that other people are going to look down on you for it. You know, like, oh, why do you think you're so great that you can do that? And it's just like, you know, the only reason that I am doing this and you're not is because I think I can and you don't. Sorry. Like, that was the thing that held me back for the longest time, because I would be like, well, yes, but if I do start doing art things and I do start making YouTube videos and I do start putting myself out there, that opens me up for a lot of people to be like, who made you an expert? Like, what are you doing? Why do you think you can do that? Like, what's with that outfit? You look like a grandma. But I guess at least you're matching. You know? You're not that bright. You're not that smart. You're not that talented. What are you doing? No one's watching. No one cares. No one's following you. Why are you doing this? You know? And it's like, well, okay, well, if no one cares, then why are you putting in all this time to tear me down and make fun of me if you don't care? People that genuinely don't care about you won't take the time to belittle you. You know, the people that are truly above you don't care, and they're not going to come for you. They're not going to make fun of you. So why would you listen to people that are bitter because they're too scared to do the things that you're doing, or they don't feel like they can? So they want to think less of you because you are. Or they want to see you fail because they were so afraid of failing that they never tried. Why is it so attractive to us when people are humble? Why are we taught that humble is a good thing? That's a bit more tricky. Because, see, what it boils down to is, again, like I've said before, people, and it's like, it's a thing that you don't even think about most of the time. We'll go for what's easiest. So, like, if you don't have to put in as much effort with someone most of the time to get like a positive result or a positive, you know, affirmation or response, you're more likely to, you know, like them, go for them, to be around them because they're easy to be around, you know? So why is it more attractive when someone doesn't know or fully seem to recognize their self-worth? Is it because they have lower standards for how people treat them and they're more likely to give you a pass on being disrespectful to them? Maybe. And you know that doing the bare minimum for them will prompt bigger, happier response than normal, or that they probably should have. It's easier for you to get that dopamine release from them because all you have to do is give them the bare minimum effort or praise or whatever, and they're just like instantly so happy and grateful. I think that's what it is. I think it's, you don't have to do that much to please them. but they act like, you know, you moved a mountain for them. It's really easy to fall into that trap because, you know, everybody wants that dopamine. And the easier you can get it, it's really attractive when people are just like super friendly and super easy and give you that dopamine release easier, because it's like with dogs, you know, they are so happy and excited, you know, you can be doing absolutely nothing and they look at you like you're the best thing in the world. That's why when people say they want, you know, modest wives, I'm like, just get a dog. That's what you really want. You want a dog. You don't want a wife. You want a dog. Get a dog. You don't have to worry about a dog divorcing you when they find out you're a piece of shit. Anyways, people that, yeah, it's about dopamine release. That's all it is. People that are modest and humble are more likely to give you an easy dopamine release, and so that's why they're seen as, you know, so good, because even though they're clearly above you, they treat you like you're on their level, if not better. And that is a major boost to your ego. That's a major boost to everyone's ego. And I don't know about most people, but I want to be more than an ego booster. And maybe that makes me arrogant in essence. There's definitely a difference between being modest and being humble, as opposed to like being gracious and being kind. Because you can be confident and you can expect, you know, more for yourself while still being, you know, gracious when people do praise you, and kind to people that are like, you know, taking an interest in your stuff. You don't have to be a stuck-up, arrogant D-bag to be confident and to know your self-worth and to not be modest or humble. That's another thing that drives me crazy that I don't understand, is like people that'll share or post those memes on Facebook that like brag about how low their standards are, and it's not phrased like that, like it's not blatant, like they don't seem to realize that that's what they're doing, but that's totally what they're doing, because it's just like, I don't need him to like remember birthdays or anniversary or even get me anything at all. I just need him to, you know, not cheat on me and to, you know, text me back, you know, when I text him, and to make me feel loved. That's like the bare minimum in a relationship. Like, you just want him to text you back. You just want him to respond to you. You just want him to not cheat on you. And you just want him to do what anyone in a relationship with you should do naturally. Like, you don't expect him to woo you. You don't expect him to remember your birthday. You don't expect him to really stand up for you. You don't expect him to do anything with this. I don't get it. I don't get it. Because it's like, your standards are so low. Realize that your standards are different from everybody else's. You might think something looks like shit, someone else is gonna think it's the best thing they've ever seen. Like, don't diminish yourself and don't minimize yourself just because either one, you believe it, or two, you think it makes you look good, because it might make you look good to some people, but the kind of people it's going to make you look good to are the kind of people that are going to want to take advantage of that, and that's why it looks good to them, and that's not what you want. I mean, I don't know, that might be what you want, but it's not what I want, because it gets you something maybe, but it doesn't get you anything worth, obviously, what you put into it. Same with your art or your music or whatever. Like, if you market yourself to the lowest common denominator, that's what you're gonna get. If you think bragging about how low your standards are is gonna get you a quality guy, no. If you think bragging about how cheap your art is gonna get you a quality commission, no. Like, you're gonna build a base of people who don't even want to pay $5 for your stuff, let alone regularly engage with you or support you. God. Especially if you try to expand your quality and up your prices, and then that's bound to fail and kill your already bargain basement level self-esteem. So like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't lead with how cheap your prices are. Don't lead with, you know, what you are willing. No, just don't. The last thing you need is to advertise yourself to a bunch of assholes and then wonder why they're not supporting you. Yeah. If you want to build a following of support and sell your artwork, first you gotta sell yourself, and that sounds horrible. You have to market yourself. That's a better term. You have to market yourself, and in order to do that successfully, you have to like yourself, or at least be able to genuinely fake how much you like yourself. And that's probably the hardest part, because especially with the way society is now, we're wired to think less of ourselves and to think that that's a good thing. Case in point, this whole video. We're wired to expect less and to accept less because we're too afraid that doing otherwise would make us seem aggressive or bitchy or arrogant or cocky or like an asshole. And so we cater to assholes. And that has to stop. And again, these are my opinions. I'm sure there are some people that are going to think very differently than me, but based off my experiences and my observations and Google definitions, going with the Google definitions, being humble is not a good thing. Being modest is not a good thing. And the people that want you to be modest, that want you to have that lower sense of self-worth in your ability, are the people who it benefits. They're the people that benefit from you having low self-esteem, low self-worth, low opinion or value of your own abilities and your own work. Like, you know, either there's someone that's dating you that is benefiting from the fact that you don't think that you can do better and you should put everything into your relationship because it's, you know, what you're for. Or it's, you know, people that are like, hey, this person's art's great, and guess what? It only cost me $5 because they're too embarrassed or scared to ask for more. Like, you hold yourself back and you put a mental cap on how good you can be and how good you think you are, and what you can accomplish. Sorry, my cat was knocking the pencils over. You can Come here. Oh boy. I made the mistake of trying to record this on my cat's tree. And now he is very much on the tree. Come here. Come here. Oh, come here, you fat thing. Come here. And I'm wearing black, so this is gonna work out lovely. But this is my fat crybaby of a cat. And he's purring right now, but he's like, oh, come here, I'm gonna hold you like a baby. I'm gonna hold you like the baby you are. That's the message. You can't grow or gain confidence or improve at the levels that you want to if you're not confident in your abilities. And if you hold yourself back and put a mental cap on how good you think you are, you can't accomplish as much if you're constantly selling yourself short and accepting the bare minimum in response to people for your years of practice and hours of hard work and effort. So don't do it. Don't be modest. Duck that shit. Here, say it with me. Duck that shit. Duck it. Duck it. I am saying duck, and it's not because I'm censoring myself. I don't mind saying fuck. It's because when autocorrect changes your fucks to ducks, it doesn't mean duck like quack quack. It means duck like duck. like duck under that shit, like to duck under. So when I'm saying duck that shit, I'm saying miss me with that shit.